Welcome to the PharmaVOICE 100 one-on-one video series with Taryn Groen.
Hi, Terry. It's so good to see you, and thank you so much for joining us for this one-on-one conversation.
It's a genuine pleasure to be speaking with you again. It's been a lot of years.
It has been a lot of years. Speaking of which, you have been the CEO or led a number of companies in your career. What are some of the keys to being a successful leader?
I think first and foremost, Taryn, is knowing that your people are the greatest asset that you have at your company. Make sure that they're trained. Make sure they're managed properly by managers who can get the very best out of the employee, at the same time not stifling their creativity. So first and foremost, it's the people, it's the people, it's the people. Second is decisiveness, in my opinion. No one wants to work for a president or a CEO who's wishy-washy, that you can't rely upon what he says today is going to be the same as what's going to be said tomorrow. Next is a passion for what your company makes or the service that it offers. And then finally, it's I believe it's ability to have a vision explained to people and all the shareholders. That vision should include, obviously, your employees, your managers, your stockholders, your shareholders, and all those who are stakeholders in the success of the company. But most importantly, the patients and their caregivers and the doctors. And in order to express that passion, you really need to have, I call it the 3 C's: the ability to communicate clearly, concise, and convincingly. If you can do those things, it's a formula for success. And finally, do everything you can to create a culture of integrity, creativity, and innovation. We want to not just meet, but exceed all the expectations those stakeholders I mentioned a moment ago have. And those would be, not only the shareholders and the board, but the employees and the patients themselves. So ultimately, to meet and exceed expectations all the way across the board, especially when it comes to the patient's quality of life.
Excellent, Terry. That is great and excellent sound advice. You have a saying that never say, "I wish I had." What is your secret to avoiding regret? And then, as a follow-up, I have to know, is there anything you wish you had but didn't?
Good question. Well, first of all, I can't take credit for the quote. I use that quote underneath my signature line in all the emails I send. But it was actually that of a dear friend of mine who is an extreme athlete. I'll tell you about him. He actually owns a Guinness record for 30 Ironman competitions in 30 days. So it's a Guinness record. Anyways, it's the title of one of his books. To say, never say I wish I had, whatever it is. So anyways, so I use that as my signature line. The answer to the question about avoiding regrets, it's really no secret. It is a willingness to take risk, well informed, well researched, but risk nonetheless. And knowing that part of the risk that you're taking is failure. But you have the self-confidence to jump back from that failure, no matter how catastrophic it could be. And I've done those, but I had the confidence to rescue it, to right the ship. So it's that self-confidence coupled with the ability to and willingness to take a risk. And anything that I wish I had that I didn't, I think in fact, I know I wish I had bought Apple instead of Enron. And I wish that I would bet on the Philadelphia Eagles instead of those rascally New England Patriots. Those are probably my biggest regrets.
Well, aside from those 2 things, you've done pretty well. And I can't thank you enough for sharing so many of your insider traits for what makes for a great leader and a great CEO. Thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure, Taryn. Thank you. Thank you for this invitation.
For more PharmaVOICE 100 content, visit www.pharmavoice100.com.